What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Justin on all DFS websites, also known as Tone to most people on the internet. I've been programming software for well over 20 years, and what I've created is a NBA FanDuel and DraftKings lineup optimizer to win at your fantasy sports daily. I created this optimizer 3 years ago, and in doing so, I had thousands of people reach out to me, and they were interested. And with that being said, I kind of turned it into a little profit maker. Sell it for a couple bucks, and not for nothing, people have thanked me dramatically. I've won thousands of dollars with this thing myself, as well as I've had friends win hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I want to get right into this, guys, because my last tutorial was 12 minutes long 3 years ago, and I ain't got time for that this year. So with that being said, here's what's needed. First and foremost, you're going to need a subscription to basketballmonster.com, which I'm going to refer to as BBM throughout the tutorial. You're also going to need my lineup optimizer, and you're also going to need just a few minutes per day to go ahead and do some, copying and pasting. You don't have to do any research. However, if you want to do a little further research, by all means, it's not a bad thing to do, obviously. But sometimes it'll mess you up, believe it or not. You can contact me anytime if you'd like at my email address, which is admin@p0t.org, admin@pop.org with the zero. But guys, let's get right into it. I want to show you how easy this thing is. I've updated it so much, it's incredible. Matter of fact, here's the lineup optimizer itself. Just to give you guys a quick glance, you'll notice it has the position, the name of the player. It also has where you can exclude or lock in each player for the night, whichever players you like for the night, maybe. Not necessarily does that have to be done, though. Just a little heads up. It has the team name, the opponent they're playing, the price that it's going to cost them, or their salary for the night, we'll say, as well as minutes per game that they play. It has their projection as well as a second projection. It has a usage rate, so how often are they used throughout a game, as well as the total projected points based off of if you want to weight these two projections together, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. And then last but not least, you have their value, basically meaning their salary times or divided by their projection, what that would come out to. So you want to find guys that obviously 5.1, 5.3, these are going to be good guys to run for this night, obviously. I'll show you in just a minute how you guys can change the allocation of, the percentage weights for the projected points for the night. However, what I want to do is get back to Basketball Monster, show you how this works. First and foremost, guys, log into your Basketball Monster account, then go right up to DFS. Click on DFS projections. When you do that, it'll load the new projections for the night, and it looks like on 11/30/2019, we've got a 4-game slate. You'll see the 4 games listed right here below. You'll see the spread with the over and under, which I think is always pretty neat. Now, you will need, with my optimizer, your display columns to be set up exactly like you see right here. Now, mind you, I can change this, and I can add different, we'll say, columns. However, if you prefer different columns, I will charge an extra fee for that, considering it doesn't take seconds. It does take hours, believe it or not. Next, though, it's already set to default whenever you scroll down for all the players. However, just make sure it's on all players at all times and then hit Excel. And whenever you hit Excel, it's going to go ahead and download a file. You're going to go ahead and save that file. You're going to then open that file. Once you do that, at the very top, it's going to say Enable Editing. You'll see that. Let me slide this over. It says Enable Editing. Click on that real quick. And once you've done that, then you'll see all the information for what we just downloaded. What you're going to do is at the top left here, click on this little arrow you see between the A and the 1 in this corner there. Click on that, and then you can right-click and hit Copy, or you can obviously hit Control-C on your keyboard, and it'll copy as well. What you want to do is go back to the optimizer. You can do that by just minimizing this sheet. Oops, maybe not. Go back over here. Now, instead of copying and pasting each individual column like we used to have to do 3 years ago, guys, at the very bottom down here, I've added another sheet that says Drop in Daily Data. If you go ahead and click on that, you'll notice there's another sheet in here. We'll go ahead and click in between the A and the 1. Once you've clicked that, hit Control-V, or go ahead and hit, right-click and hit Paste, and it'll go ahead and copy in the new sheet that you just downloaded. Then you're going to have to go back to the bottom and slide on over to where it says FanDuel Optimizer or FD Optimizer. Click on that. And you'll notice now all the new information that you had on that new sheet is now pasted in here. Now, what I'm going to do is just show you how easy this can be. I'm going to run 100% of BBM's projections, which is basketballmonster.com's. That would be this column right here. You can run 4 lineups. You can run 1. You can run 200 lineups. I wouldn't go more than 200. It probably would freeze. However, I have done 200, and it does work. However, I'm going to run the top 4 lineups for the night and just see what it spits out for us. You go ahead and click on the start button. You will see there is a reset button down there at the bottom right as well. And that's for whenever you're done. You know, if you've locked a few players in for the night or whatnot. And, you know, when you go back to your FanDuel optimizer here in a minute, and, you know, let's say there's a lot of locks in there. We'll say you can go ahead and erase those by hitting the reset button. It's very simple. But what you're going to see here in just a second, guys, and it takes a few seconds, you'll notice the screen kind of freaks out for a minute. All it's doing is running an algorithm in the background to spit out the best lineup with the best salary here for the night. And as you'll notice here in just a second, the top lineup for the night is going to be it's going a little slower, I believe, because of my screen recording. However, here's the top lineup for the night, guys. You've got Russell Wilson, or Westbrook, excuse me. That was horrible. You've also got Austin Rivers, James Harden, DeAndre Bembry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, DeAndre Hunter, Rashawn Holmes, Gary Clark, and Cody Zeller. So something tells me somebody's hurting in Houston, so that's why they've got Gary Clark in here. However, everybody else looks like a really good lineup actually for tomorrow night. However, you will see it does have the minutes total that, you know, we'll say this lineup is going to play throughout the night. And if you notice down here in the second lineup, this lineup is going to play 5 minutes more than the previous lineup. And if you go down to the third lineup, they're going to play even longer. So with that being said, guys, not always is the first one the best one. However, I will say that very top lineup up here, this lineup will win you cash games all day long. There is no doubt about it. I almost guarantee you guys that. I've almost never lost a double up with this lineup right here, guys. The only time that I have is when somebody like Giannis gets hurt, we'll say middle of the game. You know, an injury is something we can't control, and that's very obvious. However, I want to go back to the optimizer. I want you guys to know that there are other things that you can do with this. For instance, if you want to use BBM's projection and maybe put in another set of projections right here like I have, you can go over here and you can actually allocate 50% of Basketball Monster's projection as well as 50% of the other projection that you have. And then you'll see right here, projected points is now an average of the two. And then with that being said, you can run another set of lineups and see what the difference is. You may find a big difference, and you may find a lot of similarities, though. And sometimes you can kind of, you know, even take those and kind of hand create one if you'd like and make your own lineup for a tournament. However, I will say this, guys, I've got buddies that have won thousands of dollars. I've won hundreds of thousands myself. This is something that you really don't have to alter. You don't have to change it. I promise you, you hit start, and it's going to give you the best lineups. There's no doubt about it. I hope this tutorial has helped everybody, but before I end it, I do want to show you how you can lock in players and exclude players, or as well as excluding full teams. You can do that as well. Let's wait for this next set of projections or lineups to pop out, and there they go. So if you notice, it looks like nothing's changed. So that means that the base projection or the second set of projections I have, they're kind of thinking the same thing. I do see one change right here. It looks like this one right here. It looks like Nemanja Bjelica is now part of that lineup, which was different from what I saw on the first one. However, that's the thing that happens, though, whenever you change the different, allocation of the weighted projection. Now, guys, you can go in here, and if you don't think Giannis is going to be doing great this night, or you think, something may happen to him, God forbid, you can go ahead and type an X right there, and it'll exclude him from all lineups. So now whenever you run the next, few lineups here, and I'll just do 2 this time, you'll notice that Giannis will not be a part of those lineups. Now, I said I didn't want to make this a 12-minute tutorial. However, it's coming up on that already. We're looking at 10 minutes. But once this is done, I think you guys get the point. The DraftKings optimizer is the exact same. You'll notice now you won't see Giannis in any of the lineups because we excluded him. You can also exclude other players. You can lock in players by typing in L. Very simple. You can also go over here and exclude full teams. So if you don't like any Charlotte players tonight, type in X, and all the Charlotte players will be X'd out for the night. They won't be in the lineup. Once again, guys, you can do one lineup. You can do 200 lineups. You can change the allocation. You can do 75% BBM and 25%, your other projection, however you'd like to do that. That's up to you guys. Always remember, though, the drop-in daily data tab, and all you got to do is always remember to hit the Excel button on BBM. Guys, I hope this tutorial has helped anybody that's purchased the optimizer recently as well as at the beginning of the year. I do appreciate all your business as well as I'm glad you guys are happy with my product. Thank you and have a wonderful day.